20,000 years ago, the world was trying to kill you. Every single day, glaciers stretched across entire continents. Temperatures dropped low enough to freeze exposed skin in minutes. Food was scarce, predators were everywhere, and a single bad decision could end your life before sunset. And yet, somehow, humans survived this, not alone. Beside them, through the worst winters in Earth's history, walked an animal that would change the course of human survival forever, the wolf. This is the story of how dogs didn't just become our companions. They helped us survive an ice age. To understand how important this partnership was, you have to understand how brutal the ice age actually was. Across Europe and Asia, ice sheets buried entire landscapes. Temperatures could fall to negative 40 degrees. Wind howled across open tundra with nothing to block it for hundreds of miles. Humans living through this period were not the dominant species. They were prey just as often as they were predators. Cave lions, cave hyenas, massive short-faced bears, all of them hunted in the same frozen landscapes where humans tried to survive. A small band of 20 or 30 people had almost no margin for error. One bad hunt, one missed warning, one silent predator in the dark. That was the difference between survival and extinction. This is where wolves entered the picture. Genetic studies suggest that wolves and the ancestors of dogs began splitting apart somewhere between 20,000 and 40,000 years ago, right in the middle of the Ice Age. Some wolves stayed wild, others began following human camps, and the wolves that approached humans gained something massive: access to food scraps in an environment where food was nearly impossible to find. But what humans gained back was even more valuable. The first advantage was detection. A wolf's sense of smell is up to 10,000 times stronger than a human's. Their hearing can detect sounds from over a mile away in open terrain. In a world filled with silent predators that could approach from any direction, a wolf beside your camp was an early warning system no human technology could match. If a cave lion was circling nearby, the wolves knew before any human did. If something dangerous was approaching through a snowstorm, the wolves reacted first. For Ice Age humans, this single advantage may have prevented countless deaths. The second advantage was hunting. Ice Age humans hunted massive animals, woolly mammoths, giant elk, bison larger than anything alive today. Hunting these animals with stone spears alone was incredibly dangerous. A single mistake could mean being trampled, gored, or killed instantly, but wolves changed the equation completely. Wolves could track prey through deep snow using scent alone. They could chase animals toward waiting hunters. They could surround and exhaust prey that no human could outrun. A 2018 study comparing human hunting groups with and without dogs found that hunting success rates increased dramatically when dogs were present, in some cases improving efficiency by over 50%. In an Ice Age environment, where a single successful hunt could feed an entire group for weeks, this partnership wasn't just helpful. It was the difference between starving and surviving the winter. The third advantage was warmth. This sounds simple, but in an Ice Age, warmth was survival. Humans living in this period didn't have insulated homes or heated shelters. They had fire, animal hides, and each other. And they had dogs. Sleeping beside a dog in freezing temperatures meant sharing body heat through the coldest nights of the year. Indigenous groups in extremely cold climates measured how cold a night was by how many dogs they needed to stay warm. A 3-dog night wasn't just a saying. It was survival math, but the relationship went deeper than warmth, hunting, and protection. Something was happening between humans and these early dogs that went beyond simple usefulness. In 2021, researchers studying ancient burial sites in Europe found something remarkable. A grave containing a dog that had clearly suffered from severe illness as a puppy, likely distemper, a disease that should have killed it within weeks. But this dog survived for months, possibly years, after recovering, which means someone fed it, someone kept it warm, someone cared for a sick, weak animal that provided no immediate benefit during a time when every single calorie mattered for human survival. That is not strategy, that is compassion. And this bond may have done something even more important for our species. Some anthropologists argue that human groups who partnered with dogs had a measurable survival advantage over groups who didn't. Better hunting success, earlier predator warnings, warmer nights, small advantages, repeated over thousands of years across thousands of generations, and small advantages over time can be the difference between a species that survives an ice age and one that doesn't. In other words, dogs may not just be our oldest friends. They may be one of the reasons our species made it through one of the harshest periods in Earth's history at all. When the Ice Age finally ended around 11,700 years ago, the glaciers retreated, the mammoths disappeared, the world humans had known for tens of thousands of years transformed completely, but the dogs stayed. They followed humans into warmer climates, into early farming villages, into the first cities, into the modern world. The same animal that once warned Ice Age hunters of approaching predators in the dark now waits by your door for you to come home. The same instinct that once tracked mammoths through snow now waits patiently for you to throw a ball. Tonight, when your dog curls up beside you, completely relaxed, completely trusting, remember what that relationship survived. Not a comfortable history, not an easy one, but one of the harshest environments our species has ever faced. And somehow, side by side, two species made it through. If you ever wondered why the bond between humans and dogs feels so deep, so ancient, so unbreakable, now you know. It was forged in ice, and it never melted. Subscribe for more stories about the hidden history behind the things we take for granted every day.